all right, everyone, and I call them my pals, my friends here on the show, think a little bit out of the box, right? I mean, you're giving some real life examples of things that you've experienced that you've actually seen work. May not work for everyone, but you got to think about it. If you don't ask, you do not get. And if you don't think strategically on both sides, you're leaving that money on the table. Let me go to this. I recently read, I told you before we started to talk, kind of tape the show. I just read in the Wall Street Journal, there's a new phenomenon happening called revenge quitting. And to me, not smart, right? What are you going to do? People do it out of emotions, totally get it. But what is your thought about that whole phenomenon?
Well, first of all, I hadn't heard of it. So I will be writing a post about it next week or doing some TikTok video about it.
Wall Street Journal this week.
I will find it. It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, but I get it.
I do too.
You are angry, you are frustrated, you feel so undervalued, and you want to give your company the finger. I get it. I'm going to show you, screw you, ciao, ciao, I'm out. You can deal with the aftermath. I understand it, but it is a very bad move because, again, there are so many different ways to position this conversation. It's all bespoke based on your situation. Like there could be a million reasons why you are so frustrated. Well, we're going to talk through those. In some cases, it might be a very serious situation where we get a lawyer involved. In other cases, we just have a really beautiful, graceful conversation to say, listen, I think you know how I feel. I think it's time, and let's talk about what that looks like, and would really appreciate it. And the worst they can say is no. You were already going to give them the finger anyway. Like the worst case scenario is they say no. I have not had a single company say no in this conversation. They might negotiate the dollar amount, but there is absolutely zero reason, why you should not be asking for an exit package.
Okay, this has been extremely insightful, and I know that this is going to open a lot of eyes. It really is, and it's just a very great, great conversation. But I want to leave my pals, my friends, with 3 tips that you would give in any sort of negotiation stage of all of these various kind of levels and times and places we talked about. 3 tips that they need to keep in the back of their mind so they don't leave money on the table during their career.
First, know your worth. Know you are worth it. You have so much to offer. So know that first. That's a mindset thing. You've got to work on that. In any case, mindset is one of the most important factors. Second, do your homework. Do not walk in not being able to answer the question, what are your salary expectations? Don't back yourself into a corner. Always talk in ranges and make sure you've done your homework and you're normalizing this conversation. That is huge. And then the last thing would be ask. Just ask.
Yeah.
Walk through that door. And I'll say one quick one. And Bonnie, this is important because when you think negotiation, a lot of people have a negative connotation with it, which is there's a winner and a loser. I know from watching Law and Order or any legal show that there's always a big loser. And that is an aggressive style. That's not my style. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I like to talk to my people before they walk in to create a win-win environment. The idea is you want me, I want you. Let's position this and create a win-win for both of us so we both feel valued. How are we going to do that? Yeah. That is such important advice that hopefully takes down a little bit of the anxiety that a lot of people have.
Well, you know what? I love how you said the number 1, know your worth, because that is just what this show is all about. Know your worth. Each and every one of us is worth knowing.